So teaching methods. What did you see in what's really the difference
in terms of for the US, for example? They are more inclusive, right? They don't just care about coming here, read the lecture note and get out. It's more of passing the knowledge, right? And then they even have office hours. So for example, if you don't understand, they have dedicated hours that you can go see the professors, right?
Hello everyone, welcome to your favorite podcast, Jaffa Chronicles podcast.
Jaffa.
It's Jaffa.
Jaffa. Are you hungry? What did you do? You does day off today. Why are you day?
These people.
Who you the drag? Call David name. Call David by your chest if he's sure for you.
They know.
Call him if he's sure for you.
He doesn't want to say.
By the way, guys, David is our producer. Call if he's sure for you. Call him. No be David me at the power for.
Call him. Who the power for?
Nah.
Call him.
No be David me at the power for.
Call him.
Now you and Maya were the best.
You know me. Yeah, I see.
Maya going to use a Croatia brain for me this morning.
They say
Maya say if I dey go flight with Virgin Atlantic, see whether rain or flood dey, see she go reach airport on time. Which kind all these brilliant people they send go abroad. See you see the kind analysis. See as the win case.
See Nigerian person no go reason like that.
See as the so Peter Obi team they find who go represent them. They no fit find Maya.
No, you forget to even that team. The team they came up with very good decision, but obviously corruption found its way to.
Please, let's not talk about that. I beg.
I'm your humble host, Isaac. With me, I have
Dr. Babe.
You was not even you I wanted to introduce next. I don't know why.
I'm too excited. And I wanted to say that somebody have already carried that name.
You checked on Instagram?
Yes.
Dr. Babe.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, check.
You know?
Dr. Baby.
It's not sweet.
No, Dr. Baby is not giving.
It's not giving.
They started calling her Babe. So once the doctor comes, she has to add the doctor to it.
And it gives a nice...
And if you buy username now, they buy username now. You just text the person that they should change it.
You feel up and buy them. You get the bar.
As in...
ask the person now. No. Okay, chill face, wait for one side. That's what I'm saying.
You're rude. You're actually very rude.
Now they tried...
You're very...
Yes.
You're very rude.
Let me just kill his morale before he starts.
Yeah.
So Isaac and I went to play game on Sunday.
Why you did talk?
And for the first time in 18 months, Isaac has been playing PS5. Me, I just played once.
And you beat him.
And he beat me. Isaac beat me once. He beat me once.
It's not only me that beat him. In short, he lost like...
I lost the semi-final to Malik.
He lost to Malik. He don't brag. He said he'll beat Malik. Me, I was even confident.
No.
Chill, relax. I was so confident in him because he was like, he'll beat Malik like Tiff in Oshodi. I was laughing. I was like, that's my Oga. You won't believe. What was that scoreline?
Was it 3-2.
3-2. Is it 3-2 or 4-1?
It was 3-2.
But wait.
And
sorry, why did you give Isaac this opportunity to help you?
No, that's why I don't quickly talk so that I go quickly die.
No, you didn't listen. He was too sure. I don't think I lost any game that day. Like, and all those Shalaye that he has not played in 500 years. That one look consign me, you understand?
Like they say, it's practice that makes perfect.
He has been playing for a long time.
I've not played a while.
Everybody knows that you've been telling me it's like when we play PS5. When we play PS5. Now the first day where I go touch PS5 pad.
Okay, what's your evidence? No evidence, exactly.
Evidence there your phone because you get videos
that you've not played in a long time.
I've never played PS5 before.
I just me too. I don't have evidence I've played. Nobody knows if I've played.
I'm sure if I call Damien Rose that will see evidence.
Nobody's
aware. Or your guys in Agbara.
I beat him. Fair and square.
Let's move on.
And I hope to beat him again soon.
You know the funny thing?
I can say it for a fact.
You know the funny thing?
Every time I play him, I will beat him.
You know the funny thing?
Yeah.
And I say, it no go sweet when I go beat you. That's what does the funny thing. Because after all this noise, you play me. First of all, you use man, you will get better players. But that one, I use Chelsea. Chelsea
better players?
Imagine, I don't even know the game day. Chelsea go to 70 something.
Let me ask you a question.
All my players.
Let's just end this thing here. I'm just saying, it's on camera. Everybody's seeing it now. If I play KOJ 100 times, I'm beating him 100 times. Fair and square. Finish. Let's introduce our guest. Sorry for
the That's
Yeah,
how it
it's
do
just how
happen.
it is.
It do happen like
It
that.
was a terrible weekend because we were supposed to talk about the weekend. It was a terrible weekend.
Sorry,
And Isaac poisoned me because that's why that's what I'm going to say. That's the story I'm sticking with.
Isaac
Isaac poisoned me because
you.
I had food poisoning to try
I don't
yesterday.
understand. These snacks that even ate is
No,
one of it's the
no,
one
no.
that bought his own money.
You poisoned me. Maybe that's how I even lost.
It's the one that bought his own money. So why is it on me? It's not on me, man.
But because he bought it does not mean you cannot see poison.
I was not even there when they bought it.
Ah!
I wasn't there when they bought it.
Now you buy drinks.
You don't drink my drink. You don't drink my
I
drink.
did.
You didn't drink my drink.
I did.
You know why you don't drink my drink? Because my own was in the fridge. But
I
you
went
had
there.
one.
I went there.
No, you were already drinking one before
Then I
I
went
came.
there.
Wait, are we going to use this podcast to talk about food poisoning?
My own was just to kill his morale so that I would not feel bad. Because my
no,
boys were like, they can't wait to watch the podcast when Isaac feels I've killed the
the
morale.
issue now is that I will drop the video evidence. You
No, no,
understand?
wahala.
If the producer don't put down for the episode, I will post it somewhere. Everybody sees. No.
Sorry.
So-
Pele.
Yeah.
Pele. Hi, sorry. Please introduce yourself.
Because
Because if
people
you
are
leave
not-
these two young men, they will go on like that. Please.
Can you even not even say that Isaac is a fault to you today? Just look.
See the
See
color.
the colors. See everything. See him looking like he's going to the beach.
We did not. He
I was
forced
on my
himself
own.
to be here.
They
force
said, I
himself.
said, three of them said they wanted to, so two of them said they wanted to do the podcast. I'm like, okay, now, no, wala. They started begging me that we can't do this without the.
Where's your evidence?
I don't
As
know.
you
Where's the
Where's
evidence?
the evidence? I not played game in a long time. Ain't no evidence. Everybody talk their own. They were calling me saying, okay, let me just.
Yeah,
rush
Waka
and
come
do
on set.
anything. Ain't no wala, that will not be issue.
Waka
But I did somehow, you understand?
No, I know
The
it's not too
audience
late. You
It's
can.
not too late.
They are not.
We can start again.
You
They are
guys first see me to her, so. I just
That
have
one
to
not
hear.
true.
That is not
That's
true.
not true.
That is not true because
Be careful. Nobody don't go break your heart.
a very wise man once said,
Mm.
the time you were not around was the best podcast ever.
Who is the person? Who said this? Who
I'm
said
not
it
a
now?
snitch. It's just a very wise man.
Who said it?
A very
If it's
wise
Mr.
man.
Lipo, okay. No, Mr. Lipo has personal beef with me. So you can say whatever you
My
want.
boss na head. Yesterday I
Isn't
did
that
church.
personal beef?
I did church. The person where they take Bible study, they talk about. You say, hey, I think Premier League has started. The young people say, yes, I started. He said, we was trying to compare our faith to when a team wins and all that. I didn't know when I said, except your Arsenal, everybody does they laugh. He said, the feeling, everybody's playing. He said everybody's playing for a trophy. So like he was trying to say that Jesus is our own trophy. I said, except your Arsenal.
Last minute.
Wow.
I wish I recorded it. Because it's not easy to always be giving those bands to my wife. So, 248 days.
Was she there?
She wasn't around yesterday. So sorry, Arsenal
And
fans.
the
I
next
don't
will
know.
stream the service.
No. It's just Bible study. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
there was no
not
football
church.
this
So
weekend,
it's
yeah.
Bible. It was a
Shout
boring
out to
weekend.
Super Eagles though.
6-0.
6-0. My boy Osimhen with the hat trick.
All right. Hello, boys and girls, brothers and sisters. King of Jackpot here. We have a lovely guest. Actually, we have two guests. We have a beautiful Dr. Babe who
Dr.
features
I'm a
Baby.
guest.
whispering.
Yes. Oh, you don't know.
Hey,
Yes, no, you have to introduce yourself.
No, we'll introduce her because we introduce her. She'll be taking time. She introduce herself. So Dr.
I
Babe.
finished it. I said, Dr.
Okay.
Babe, finish.
But we have a guest here in our midst. We have our guy
At the top.
At the top.
Mm.
A real doctor. Someone that has finished. Someone that
Wait. I went. Hold on first.
I can't breathe.
Hold on first. I thought the agreement was if Isaac. How come he's not me?
Ultimate banter today. No banter is surpassing that one.
No, sorry, man.
I can't do this anymore.
No, a real-
Where's the real doctor?
A real doctor. No, I'm just trying to clarify for our new listeners.
You the expression. Oh God.
He's sweet.
So in case you not see me next time, in the next episode, you know why.
No, now a real doctor because we've been using Dr. Babe, so people may not understand. So I'm like, okay,
Wow.
we have a real doctor here. oh.
Wow.
Dr. AY.
Wow.
Take her.
I'm in severe pain.
He was calling you outside. You thought you were
Oh,
extinct.
Jesus.
No, Mr. Deco. You can't trust him. You can't trust him.
Isaac.
All right.
No problem.
Hello, Doctor. Dr. Ayo.
It's not me they're talking to.
Please, do you mind
Introducing yourself.
introducing
to us.
yourself before we talk about a very important gist that came up yesterday?
So my name is Ayobami Edo.
You see, it's even people that have money.
Yeah.
They don't talk so
What
much.
else?
People that have finished doctorate, but okay.
Okay, that's it.
I'm not
That's-
going to
that's
say
fine
anything
then.
again in this podcast today. they have done me time out.
You were about to give me, now give you.
Ah.
All right. I mean, Dr. AY, tell us about yourself. First degree, second degree.
Third degree, fourth
PhD.
degree.
Yeah, so just give us
That's
your
none of those now.
Okay.
what
So
university
my
did you attend?
But at least me, I don't the en route.
Let's focus on what.
yeah. So my bachelor's was in electrical and electronics engineering
Okay.
at FUTA,
Hmm.
Federal
You mean
University of
some I go
Technology.
foot out. Yeah.
Federal University of Technology, Akure, and that was in 2014. I mean, I graduated 2014,
Yeah.
then moved to the US 2017 for my master's and PhD. So I did.
Have you completed your PhD?
Oh yeah. I finished my PhD in April 2022. That's 22.
Mr. Dipo.
Yeah.
It's just in 2 years' time. 2
Yeah.
2 years' time, I will come back and tell you that don't worry.
But somebody has completed their own
It's
PhD.
okay now.
I
It's
didn't
okay.
in private or federal school. Because that 2 years finished 2 years if you have. But the private school, I let you ask now. If it's a federal school, it might not be 2 years. Do you understand? So I'm just asking.
All right, so
It's as if they don't want me today. They did not want me to come today.
all right,
No
so
problem.
let's talk about trending news that I mean everybody probably has. This UAE thing that came up yesterday afternoon or evening before I left the office or something. What do you guys?
And the funny thing is, some people were taking it as a. I mean, obviously, it's if it's actually valid, it's a win for us. But like,
It's
some
not
people were
valid.
using it. Yeah, that's something I said. If some
Well, let
people
me
were using it,
rephrase.
like,
Let
what
me
was-
rephrase. It's not yet valid.
It's not yet valid. It hasn't been
Oh,
confirmed
the
by the
letting
other
of the
party.
band.
Because the UAE put out press statement, they did not say.
They did not.
They did
That's
not say
even the
that,
one that I saw
but
that they did not mention
Chief press
anything
officer,
about.
NTA, everybody does the talk. Say
I
they
think
don't
it's
leave.
Tinubu
back.
account even on Twitter, even Twitter.
Yeah, everybody, federal
Everybody
government
don't,
account, all of them, everybody. Then over the weekend,
They can dream.
the Lagos State's media guy, they tackle Abuja media guy. I don't know in a band, so maybe that one we make those ones they tweet regularly. Laura Kosha is not yet valid
Yeah, the UAE
because Wakana don't begin to post Dubai tickets,
Are you
energy.
serious?
All tourist companies don't they post. It never valid.
Allegedly,
They never advise on how they go even they get visa.
Yeah,
If you go to their website, nothing they show.
yeah,
So
something
please,
there. Yeah,
I don't know, you young guys, can you Gen Zs, can you explain
Gen
what
Zs.
do you
you are not Gen Z.
Hmm,
Sorry, baby boomer. We
Ba-
say call him out.
I'm not.
what do you think though? What do you think, Sinom?
It would be a very good thing because again, at the end of the day, a lot of people do business there, so
Yeah.
it would really a lot of people will be happy.
Well,
But
sorry, I don't know.
all these I hope dreamers that
Yeah.
would have not land, you go and buy tickets now. You will not hear that.
I don't know how many tickets Wakana go down 17 years today.
Oh.
Yeah, because a lot of people will rush.
Which visa you want use to go?
People will rush it.
That's the thing.
me,
And you know that's another thing with Nigerians that we don't like to validate things first. You just
Let's start.
rush. That's another issue.
Once you see it on WhatsApp, once African mothers send the
Yeah, everyone
broadcast
posts on WhatsApp
message.
saying,
Sorry.
Hey, what do you think?
Sorry.
I mean,
I
when
don't mean to
we were
drag us back,
banned.
but
Was it last year we
It
were
was-
banned?
was
What do you
this
think about the whole shenanigans? What do you think about it?
Yeah, so I think that, of course, when I saw the band, I was surprised myself, right? Because I think it was about 2 months before the band. I was like, oh, okay, let me just, my mom go on a vacation to Dubai.
Hi.
She actually went.
Oh, okay.
She went in April, came back, and I was like, okay, how was the experience? She liked it. Okay, let's book another one, you and my brother,
Mm.
so you can go together, only for me to see that the
There was a
band,
ban.
Ah.
there's a band. So I'm like, okay, we're just going to plan something else,
Yeah.
which we did. But if it's lifted, of course, it's good news for us. With the hope that they wouldn't ban us again. Because I think if they banned before they lifted it, it's like maybe the
Yeah.
third time they're doing this.
And I mean, we
Nigerians, they always verse them.
you know, the thing about our podcast, immigration, a lot of things go on in immigration, and one part of it that is boring most is foreign policy. First of all, if you have Nigerians who live there, who have gone there, one of the things you hear about it is that they regularly mess things up anywhere we go.
It's our way.
From prostitution to drugs to fraud
yeah.
to cultism. So I've had a couple of people tell me their experiences when they went there, like the things that we're doing there. And one thing that I just, it's always funny because it's always difficult to stay on this side of trying to do the right thing, which is like, yeah, ban us. Like, leave us banned. Like, I don't even know why you're lying. Let me not say that, but
I know deal.
like, leave us banned. We're owing them money. That's one.
Hold on. I have a who have you not with money?
That's another thing. That's true. That's the reality.
Who are we
Because-
not with money?
So now,
Because-
if you now even just bring it to the basics, they've got 2 airlines that come here. They're not giving Air Peace, our own airline, opportunity to go there. That was one of the issues.
No, but I think.
No, but Airpiece was.
They never allowed.
Yeah.
Then they revoked
they're
it again.
Yeah.
So now
They know-
they've
they
started
know what they're
announcing
doing.
historic deal. The government that they went to meet said that we just had nice talks with the leader of blah blah blah. So what is the benefit to our own economy? They are claiming cash swaps and all those things. Great when it's announced and when it's official. But I'm hoping that something is done for Air Peace, because Air Peace has proven time and time again to be that airline that does well for Nigeria and goes to these countries. I don't even know why they don't land in, they're not allowed to land in London yet. Because Air Peace is a Nigerian company. So you don't have to think about paying in dollars. For one. So people don't want to talk about the truth in all these matters. But when I saw the thing yesterday, it was just heartbreaking to just see UAE just announce, oh, that this is
They
the
were
press
talk-
release of what our
yeah.
president did today, and
And they didn't
nothing
talk
was
about the
announced.
ban. Yeah.
Whereas every media outlet is talking about historic announcement. Why are we so forward? Like, why?
I mean, I'm
but
actually not surprised because there's,
I mean,
there's
right?
a problem with it. I think it was what's this former digital media guy for Buhari and Bashir Ahmad. He was talking about how like there's a problem with Nigerian media and like everybody just goes for like they just rush for
Clickbait.
trending news, clickbait. Exactly, nobody's doing that due diligence and like searching for.
But
news
yesterday it
and-
was them that was propagating now. Whoever is in the presidency now. Whoever is the new media guy.
It was
so.
the job of the media that is
Yeah.
supposed to.
And
be
they don't want to
free.
control NTA, because NTA now they get latest news now. They don't want
Yeah.
they revive NTA.
NTA's Twitter is not even very active. You just
That's why they use billions.
Yeah.
digital.
So
I
anyway,
just saying it too.
election tribunal verdict. Yeah, that's that. I
was
think
quite an
that's
emotional day for me.
that announces
But I want
that.
to ask a question.
Do you know that they did not bring light to that day? Like they did not want
Yeah,
us
I
to
think
be
no, but there was
heartbroken.
all strike. There was a
Yes.
strike.
And I even
that
heard that they've increased the price of meter.
Yes.
NEPA meter.
Again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the units, the meter itself.
To buy.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
They want you to bring out your
I don't know
blood.
how I feel, because Twitter was hot. Should we give? What? Let's give you the first crack at it. Did you follow the
No, I didn't really follow it. I was not.
I tried to
was
watch.
not super interested in
But
it.
did you follow the from last year the whole election?
Oh yeah,
process and all that?
definitely. Of
Are you
course.
are you deflated, or you're just not interested?
So of course I had my preference, but obvious. It's probably obvious what my preference is, right?
Yeah.
It's not what we have, but I knew that you just can't win that battle.
Fact.
Yeah, I don't
Sorry,
think
what
you
did you
just can't
say?
win it, right? Because if you listen to the vote, it was more of what was the judge? The judge kept saying something that you could not prove this, you could not prove, failed to prove this.
He just kept saying fail to.
I think for me it was expected, so I'd rather not just watch it and
I think the judgment was confirmed from me the moment I heard that they were doing it live. Because we petitioned for you to stream the sessions live. You said no. All of a sudden you want to stream the judgment. We're not stupid now. Like, we're not stupid.
I get.
And then they started releasing all sorts of videos. They had one of their guys talk about Shebi Peter Obi had gone to court before and he won. So it's not this. I think the summary for me is that, and this has been trending about friendship and relationships, is you really can tell who people are from when matters like this really occur, particularly people who are paid. Because when somebody has collected money or is collecting contract and you hear the things the person is saying, you're like, is it money that will rob your sense away, or you just never had sense?
It's a little they had that money now collect.
Because how do you justify this? And the thing that I think is even paining me the most is, as a believer, I have to obey the court. So I can't even be on the side of, as a supporter of Peter Obi, to say, oh, we were cheated, they are liars, or they are silly, or just insult them. By my faith in Christ, Tinubu is our president, and we move on. in 60 days, if you go to Supreme Court, if they win, he's our president. You can't argue. I see a lot of people just commenting. They don't understand principle. So for me right now, he's our president. And the thing is, he's actually seeming to be doing okay. Like, he's doing better than the last guy. That I can give you for a fact. He's got ministers that have hit the ground running.
But
Dave Umahi Omo. I saw one video yesterday night. This guy was videoing a contract and I was like, Oga.
Oh yeah, I said it.
Oga, with nonsense did he does, do you know?
I said it.
So like, it may just be for media and clickbait,
Yeah.
but
But I mean,
And that's
I
another
said
thing.
this.
Is it going to last?
that's it now.
No,
Or is,
yeah,
it,
I said
is
it.
it just trying to pacify?
Initial paragraph.
I said it
Yes.
after the election. In short, even before the elections happened, like whoever was going to win, it was going to be easy for them to impress us because of what the last guy did. So it was like
Yeah.
the last guy brought us here. So it's easy
We,
for
we can only go off.
Yeah,
Like, we're so
exactly.
fat. Like, you've got state governments buying cars and they're in poverty, they can't pay salaries, they're buying hundreds of jeeps for 100 million and all that.
Yeah.
You know, so
I heard that they even recently increased the salaries of House of Rep.
That's
like,
crazy.
Like-
look.
That's wild.
Some people have not got
Alright.
salaries, but yeah,
All right, let's
let's not think about this.
let's
Nigeria.
just go on. So AY, thank you for coming today.
The real doctor.
You really,
Really pin am, sha.
you doctor.
This
Really
damn
can-
this thing shook me in my chest.
All right, so tell us a bit about yourself. And now we're just asking, what's your story? Like I said, when I finished secondary school, I also wanted to go to FUTA or Unilag for elect, but there was strike that period, and we couldn't even. Was even post UTME. We couldn't even do anything for about a year. So my parents were like, go private school, I get my family and all that. So, but tell us what was your
You have money now.
no. It's funny, right? It was scholarship. No, it wasn't money. It was scholarship.
Okay.
It was pennies on the dollar.
So wait, what did you now study? No, because all of us have that story of what we wanted to
Yeah,
and
that's
what
true.
we did.
Computer science with electronics. Not so far, but far.
It's not.
Engineering would have been 5 years. And in hindsight, I would have likely just really not liked it. So I did computer science
At
with
the end of the
electronics.
day, so what did you originally want to study?
Oh, that's what I wanted to study.
Okay, so
Isaac, what did you want to study?
I
And
studied what I wanted to study. now.
What
That's
did you
not true.
study?
that's not true.
Psychology.
That's not true. There's evidence on this podcast that's not even study.
No, what happened was.
Ha!
yeah,
Gang.
no,
So
but
let me
so-
tell you what happened
Wow.
real quick. I went in for psychology, but what they gave me 2 choices. They gave me international relations for my first choice, and then for my second choice, psychology. So I just went for the second choice.
So what was the first choice going on?
It was psychology.
That's so you know they are double.
I'm serious.
Okay, cool. We'll take
My
it
dad
down.
wanted me to do psychology, so
What did you want to do? That's the question we
And
asked.
I
that's
think I've
that.
even said it on this program before. Now I was just vibing SS3, like I didn't know what I wanted.
Was
like,
it music you said
So
you
what,
wanted to
what I
do?
wanted, I mean, obviously, but it's not something
Was
I
it
wanted
not
to go and read.
music?
But it was not what I wanted to go and read now.
No come podcast on the line. No be music
I don't
you want
understand.
to
No, the way I would say it's not as if I wanted to
do.
do
Shall I
music.
aid on too
It was
much?
music business. There's a difference. It's not as if I wanted to go to the studio. I was not going to be a recording artist.
You
I'm just
can't
going
be
to
a
music
recording
business.
artist. You not have made it now.
Wow. Ooh, that true. True. Simply put.
You
So-
not have made.
So,
Sorry.
so we thank God for Daddy for directing us to psychology.
Flesh and blood did not reveal it to him.
I know Daddy is a pastor, so Daddy has been praying for.
He saw before you.
So,
So-
Dr. AY, back to you.
He
All right,
tell
anyway.
you.
I don't know. Banter is a key part of our podcast.
yeah, it's fun.
It's
You look very gentle.
Should
Or
it-
is it
shouldn't I
because
be-
it's the first time?
First time I've
Or are you actually
Yeah,
naturally gentle?
That's
that would be a question for other people, not for me.
I've known him for a couple of years. He's always been very gentle. So tell us your story. How did a young AY begin to talk about or think about or dream about Japa? What tell us your story?
Yeah, so for me, I think it's always been more of what I wanted, right? I've always been this academic guy, right? And I know I was going to do my master's. I know I was going to do my PhD. But then for me, it was more of it has to be outside of the country. That was me. If I was going to be in Nigeria, I wasn't ready to do it. So when I graduated, I was applying for scholarships here and there, New Zealand, Australia, UK, majorly scholarships, the Chevening, Commonwealth,
single
and all
day.
of those things. I didn't want to do GRE. I didn't really like the US. I'm like, I'm not going to do GRE. I don't want to go through the stress of, all of those things. So after doing Commonwealth, doing Chevening, doing New Zealand, all sort of things, it wasn't coming forth, right? I was like, okay, I'll just keep trying, just keep doing this.
Yeah.
But then, so FUTA has this MOU.
Okay.
MOU is Memorandum of Understanding with a school in Florida A&M. So what that means is, if you're in your 4th year, it's a 5-year. FUTA is 5 years.
Yeah.
So you can go do your final year in the US, in Florida. With Florida A&M University. So you not pay out of state, you pay in state.
Wow.
Then you get a dual degree. You get from FUTA, you get from FAMU.
Wow.
And then they
Covenant get that kind of thing.
No, I don't think so. So they started with my sets, right? So but then I couldn't take advantage of that because
I can defend this,
Don't disturb our guests.
No,
Okay,
but I
you're
can
dis-
defend
you're
this.
Yeah,
disturbing
disturbing our guests is in his
You're
flow.
disturbing-
but Covenant is a good school, so you can
It's the best
you
in
can
Nigeria. It's not even
it's
a
number one. You
debate.
can
Why are
fight
we
that.
doing this?
Alright, so you didn't take.
So I could not take advantage of that because they started with my sets. So you need to raise the money to pay. You are going to pay tuition by yourself. I think there was about $4,000 for tuition, excluding flights, accommodation, all those things.
and all those things.
So only people whose their parents were like, what to do, that could quickly raise that fund. But then that was where the idea of US was now kind of sinking in. But I knew I could not take advantage of that. Anyway, so the scholarship applications continued here and there. 1 year, 2 years. A friend of mine that took advantage of that was like the second set, second or third set. They were like, why not just apply to the US directly? I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't want to do GRE. I don't want to start doing TOEFL. I don't want to do it. Let me just keep the scholarship part and the likes. But they finally convinced me, okay, I'm just going to do this GRE. I did not even really study for it. There's a math part.
Don't be that kind of guy that didn't study but I didn't get thrown or something, no?
Yeah, I got 300 or something. I didn't really study for it. I knew that math is not a problem.
Music business, you can't relate.
Confused. You didn't study at all.
No, not like I didn't study at all.
But
It was
it wasn't. It
yeah.
wasn't on your
So
mind.
for the verbal part, for example, the major thing I was doing was the big words. I had them on a long list. I was just quite memorizing the
It's to Dr. B. What do you think?
big words.
You
But
don't write IELTS.
I don't see. It's people like this in secondary school that they'll tell you, is it this simple exam? And then they collect 90 something 100. I know to like. But please,
So,
Okay.
but you already said it that he has been a very smart person.
no, I didn't say very
But
smart.
he said book.
I just said like I like the academic
Yeah, that's
environment.
the smart
There are two
person,
different things. You
That's
can
why
be
you
a
looking
cleaner
at
and
me.
like academic environment, just like cleaning schools now.
I meant to say something to Isaac, but I said, let
Say
me
so.
know. Don't worry.
I'm ready for you.
Why is it?
You will nothing you won't tell me today that I will pass that one. I'm sorry, if I give you. But if you like banter with it tomorrow, and I will
Mr.
keep reminding you of this.
Mr. Dupo, you have given no problem.
But Isaac, if you read for the GRE for 6 months, 1 year, you feel read you can you do 280?
I find not giving my jam story. I did not prepare for my jam. I did not
Jam
prepare for
and
my
GRE
It
are
does
not
not
the same.
matter.
Nigerian exams and Igbo exams not be the same thing.
Me. Exam. I didn't prepare
Okay, so you got 300 and what?
I think it was 308.
How you gonna go prepare for exam and get 380 over 340?
No, so
So
for
when
me,
you
because
not
I
prepare,
knew
what will
that
happen?
I knew that math was
340
not.
over
I knew
340.
math was not a problem for me.
Isaac,
I knew that.
Isaac.
So I didn't
Some of
really.
us, we cannot read.
Don't be by clapping. Show your
I knew
Do
that,
you
man.
do mentorship?
Show your
What
workings.
what kind of
But wait,
mentorship?
even if
Yeah,
they
you
give you,
mentor
even
me.
if they
Even if they
mentor you,
How?
I don't know.
even if they mentor
We
you,
dey try package you where you did.
Now why you know this is the right packaging? I don't see who go package me now. I dey leave you now.
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
No.
I mean, you'll be fine. You don't worry.
No,
You'll exceed the expectations.
So 308. What was that the next step for you? What did you do next? Your friends have been encouraging you.
Oh yeah.
and
So
also-
after doing the GRE, it was now more of it's TOEFL required. So I had done IELTS for Canada and all of those stuff.
okay.
You don't need that for the US.
yes.
It's more of Canada, more of the UK and then some other nations. But then I was just like, okay, let me just also do TOEFL, which you don't really need. Okay, if I'm going to do GRE, I'm just going to do everything. And just that way I'm not limited, right?
So can I ask a question? Because some of our listeners does think that AY finished in FUTA and then just wrote GRE IELTS and was applying. Can you just tell us the couple of years between FUTA and when you went to the US, what were you doing?
Oh,
Because
okay.
that's something that
Yeah. So when I finished in FUTA 2014, I think there was strike here and there. So we did our graduation,
yeah.
December.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
I don't know if they call it that, yeah. We did that December 2014. So we didn't go to NYSC until the next year, of course, 2015.
Okay.
Which I did that for 1 year. So before that, while waiting for that, I taught in the school
Nice.
in E4. I was just like, okay, I cannot stay at
Physics
home.
teacher, I'm guessing. Okay.
Well, all sorts of
everything.
things.
Wow. Okay.
It was basically from almost the old school. Math, physics. If the teacher is not around, what are you people doing? Oh yeah, let's do it. So I think I did that for a couple months. Then I was deployed to Lagos. For my NYSC.
Why did you say it like that?
You know,
Yeah.
leave the matter.
No,
Wow.
no, you're not getting like he was not happy that he got Lagos.
No.
Oh, so me, I did not want Lagos.
Oh, you didn't want
Yeah, I
These
did.
people wanted
Well,
Lagos.
I didn't want Lagos.
That was the heat
people
of
go
Boko
to
Haram.
Lagos.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
it
forget.
was a
So,
big
that
deal. My dad was like,
that was big.
If
I
they
can't
take you to the
forget.
north,
Not
don't even
exactly.
call me
Don't
at
call
all.
me
Don't
again.
call me. I will not even do as if I know you.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, do whatever you have to do.
Okay, so NYSC post
NYSC 2015 to 2016. So by 2016, I think I got a job in Lekki, which I was, working on. But of course, I knew where my mind was. All of the applications was going on while doing that. So I was not just idle,
Yeah.
right? I was working, doing the application, but they were not coming forth. By the end of 2016, I got another job in Benin. So I moved to Edo, moved to Benin.
Money you need good. Lekki to Benin. I'm not the same Benin. Edo Benin.
Yeah. It
Not
was
Benel.
No, Benin.
Where
Edo,
I
in
happy.
Edo. Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
states we don't slack on all those places. We pay.
No, it is because Edo, if there's nothing there.
How much is rent?
Once you take
How
out
much is food?
Uniben
Yeah.
and then Benin Disco, that's all.
Wow.
Right. That's the end of Edo.
He didn't
State.
plan it, but that was apropos.
No, it's facts. It's facts.
It's
But
fact.
okay, there are a lot of churches.
What state are you from? Sorry.
I'm from Ogun State.
Don't talk now. Why in the same shoes? Come
We are not in the same shoes.
We're not in the same
Abeokuta is
shoes.
Abeokuta is
I
a
live
lot.
in
of-
Ogun State now. Agbara is Ogun State. I've been to Agbara.
Go to Abeokuta now. Your capital
go to
city, Benin.
What's
What's
there?
there?
I've not been there, but I know that.
Ring Road.
You were
Abeokuta.
sent by God.
Yes,
You were
you are
sent-
doing a lot of work today. You don't know.
You
All
are-
right. Okay, so at what point did things then change as regards
Your
going
application.
abroad? So you
So by
work experience.
2016,
Okay.
that was when I submitted application. It was now becoming real in
Okay.
terms of moving to the US. But then now the question of funding started coming in. But while I was in Benin, I knew that I'm only here for a few months. If I never get accommodation. No, I just knew that I was just staying with someone. I'm like, okay, don't worry. I'm not even using 1 year in this place. What are you talking about? I'm like, you don't worry. Okay, I didn't tell them
Power
what
of
was
vision.
going on. I
You
didn't
knew
tell
that
them,
you were
yeah.
out of here.
But then I was just doing my work as faithfully as I could. But the applications were in there. I got the admission. Now there was a
How
question.
many universities did you apply to?
I applied officially to 3. But then
In
there
the
was,
US.
yes.
Okay.
But then there was a 4th university that said, oh, we saw your GRE score. Apply to our school.
Hey,
I
do
think, can you
it.
relate?
Wait, let's
Do it.
So they were like, apply to our school. You don't need to pay application fee. You don't need to do anything. Just I was like,
Which
really?
was that?
It was RPI. I don't know how to put it. It's one.
Google it.
Yeah,
guys, Google
RPI,
it.
Ren Salia Polytechnic
Ah.
Institute. So exactly, you see the reaction you had? That was the same reaction I had. I'm like,
No,
Polytechnic
yeah,
Institute.
no.
Is that a
No.
good school?
Love and
It's
light.
actually one of the best schools in New York.
Are you serious?
Yes. It was the moment I saw Polytechnic Institute, I was like, what kind of
I tell
school
my
is it?
students that there's one school that we're partnered with in Ghana, like
Ren-
Quatland.
Salia.
Yeah, Ren Salia
Ren Salia
Polytechnic
Polytechnic
Institute. A
Institute.
lot
Are
of
you serious?
discoveries was from there. Top professors were there. I was like,
They should
what's up?
change their name.
I should have Googled it. I think it's because Nigeria Polytechnic
Yeah,
mentality.
yeah,
because-
mentality,
yeah.
yes.
That's
So I just told one of my, these assistant lecturers in FUTA, like, please help me do a recommendation letter. Because I didn't want to bother the main professors that helped me. Only for me, when I got there, I was like, let me even check out this school. And I saw that they were one of the best in my department.
Wow.
I was like,
Is that a regret though? Do you think?
no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, so what are the 3 other schools?
University of Florida, Florida State University, well, all in Florida. University of Florida, Florida State University, and University of South Florida. In fact, by the time I got to the embassy, the consulate was like, we saw that all the schools you applied to are in Florida. Why Florida?
Yeah.
It kind of raised some question, and I told him, well, Futa has an MOU with FAMU. That's how I got to know
Yeah.
about Florida.
So, yeah,
Florida is the main
mid-
place that I know, that I have
yeah.
friends. Like, okay. Yeah.
You can't say that you have friends anywhere now. When you go to the US embassy, they'll bounce you.
Oh, are you serious?
Anything you say now can be used against you
In
in
the
the
court of
US.
law.
Yeah, I
Court
think
of
I
law.
just dwelled more on the MOU
Yeah.
that we have.
I had someone go there last week and they were like,
For
you,
the
work,
interview.
you work for a school, you work for a company in the US. But I don't think that was the main reason, Sha.
Wait, the person works for a company and they still bounced.
I'm very confused.
If you reach VI,
Wait,
you
now.
feel if you ask the person,
That's a valid reason to get a visa now. You work there.
There might be some other
there may be other
some
things though. And generally, I think that I will also tell people right now, if you want to go US visiting, if you don't get any previous visa, they sketchy for them.
Yeah, it's usually
They race, so they always
But how was it for you? The whole visa processing.
mine was
seamless.
incredibly seamless. Like,
So how did you sort the funding bit? Because you can't go to the embassy without having talked about funding.
Funding, yeah.
Did you get scholarships from any of these
so
schools?
you actually could. So for me, this is a very long story, but
we
let,
get
let me
have
cut it
some
short.
time. Okay.
So the same friend that
Yeah.
said that was kind of pushing me to do GRE and all of those things, I was playing my part, sending emails, contacting professors. But then I just kind of spoke to the friend. All these professors, they are not really responding. Is it possible for you to go to their office and then just
Oh, he was in Florida.
a lady, she was in Florida.
Hmm.
And then she was like, she's not sure, she doesn't. Anyway, but she went. There was a particular professor. I said, okay, if you can just talk to this one. Because the professor had some Nigerian students work with her. And it turns out that those guys really did well. They did extremely well. Because of that, she really liked
That's
Nigerians.
Mm.
So the moment she knocked on the door, I was like, oh, I'm here, my friend. He has sent you an email. She's like, oh, your friend. She was shocked that somebody could actually come and knock on the door and speak for a friend. And then now this guy is also in Nigeria. And that's why she's like, ask him to send me a reminder email. And that's how the connection sparked.
Wow.
And then
Was that Florida or Florida?
yeah, Florida. University of Florida.
Okay.
And then she sent me a letter. She's like, take this letter to the embassy. This is a
Wow.
funding letter that I'm going, that you're going to work with me. I'm going to fund you. It was not an actual funding letter. It was a letter saying, okay, take it to the embassy. You're going to work with me. But then when I got to the embassy, they did not even ask me for it. I did not even need it eventually. I even had a bank statement because I'm like, I need to show proof of funds. They did not even ask me for that.
Wow.
But yeah, but I had that in.
What of the person that had said that was he or she was going to fund you and then disappointed?
It's the same person. So that's another story.
With this same professor?
Yes.
Like you had gotten to Florida.
It's
Okay.
an Hollywood story now. They would just play that music.
You would have
Wait,
to
watch out for
jump.
part two.
You have to
Because I was
jump.
about to say that I see the power of women, your friend who helped you, that have good women. Now I want to talk. Now Professor comes sideline you. Wait till it happen.
Okay, so we're jumping to that, Abby.
Okay, so let's go. So you go to the embassy, you get your visa. Let's just
Oh
go.
yeah. Got the visa, of course. Then you have to start planning how to go. Of course, family is gonna be like,
Kilo need.
no. Then it's more like, where is the actual? It's not an actual funding letter. It's a promise that I'm going to fund you. So you don't have any it's not actual funding that this is how much. It's more like it's a promise to fund you. I have some money. This is the amount I have, and you're gonna work with me. And to the point, I was already working with her even before I left Nigeria.
Wow.
I was already reading research papers, doing some research, stuff like that. We're communicating every week, pretty much. Okay, then it's more like, you people don't worry. I just know. I have always known I'm gonna go to Florida, and don't bother yourself about this. Okay, now booked your flights, got into the US. Hello, ma. I've landed. Thanks
fast.
Thank you for the
story.
Thank you for the
Fast.
letter. I'm so glad, now I've gotten my visa. I'm in the US. How do we proceed from here? And then it landed. I know I said I have money, but I think you have to do a semester with me first before I now fund you. So that I can be sure that you have the skills. At least I know that you are fundable. I'm like, this was not what we talked about, though. Because a play tuition is like $10,000 for a semester. That's just your tuition. Not to talk about accommodation, not to talk about feeding and all of those things, right? So, yeah, that was where that was the first hurdle that had to be crossed.
So what happened next?
Long
Should
story.
we do this a super story?
You might have to do that.
Wow. Okay, so I mean, you completed the 2 years of masters there, so somehow funding came,
Oh yeah, of course, summer funding came.
but not from the school.
Or not from the professor.
Definitely not. The professor don't serve us breakfast.
I know she feel the law feels still touch her mind now.
Okay, so let me just say the story. So when she said that, it was now more of how do you then raise the funds for that semester? I'm like, Of course. So now this is University of Florida. They gave me a master's plus PhD admission. So what that means is you could do a master's for 1 year, and after that switch to PhD immediately. Meanwhile, the other 2 schools gave me a direct PhD for my undergrad that I don't even have to do masters.
Wow.
Right? So just do a direct PhD. But I'm like, I've left school like 3 years ago. I don't even know if I still remember. I've been doing hustle and bustle of Lagos to Benin, where I'm like, no, I think I'd rather do the masters so that you reduce the pressure on yourself, right? Because there's high expectations, for PhD. Okay, so now there's a question of how do you navigate this? Let me check out the other schools. Let me see, if those ones would even, have funding. But then the way they operate is different, right? It's not like some schools, if they give you PhD admission, it also comes with funding.
Yeah.
If they don't have funding, they don't give you the admission.
Yeah.
Some other schools, they give you admission and then they say your first year, you work with the professor, the department will pay.
Yeah.
Then you look for a professor. In the other schools, it's more of, we're giving you a PhD admission, go sort out your funding.
Yeah.
That was what the other 2 schools were. So even though they had given the PhD admission, you had to go look for your funding. I'm like, so you have to now start talking to the professor until you can get. So those ones are a little more,
Stressful.
yeah. Although I went there, but it wasn't really forthcoming. So I just stayed where I was. First week, second week, third week, and then I think after about 4 weeks, if you don't get funding, you can no longer get funding. No, you can take classes. So there's usually a deadline where they need to discuss 8 hours to process those things.
Yeah.
If you don't get it, you have to wait till the next semester. So the third week, I'm like, hey, I have just 1 more week. So by the 4th week, still there was no fun. She was maintaining a position that I want to be sure that you can impress me. Like I want to be sure that you can actually do the work. I think the way she put it was, I have doubts that you can impress me. I'm like,
So I've already started to work for what? We did not doubt that time.
It's okay. And every bad story has a good ending. We'll get to the good part, right? So for me, I think being Christian and being spiritual. So there was just a day I was just walking on the campus and I was just praying. And then somebody just dawned on me to go to the head of department. I didn't even know where that came from. Like, I didn't even know who the head of department is, to go talk to the person. And I just talked to him. I was like, okay, this is the situation, blah, 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 blah. Again, by this time, the funding period has closed where you can no longer get funding, but you can still get something called OPS. It's more like on-campus jobs.
Yeah.
Those will not pay your tuition, but they will just pay you your bi-weekly stipend. So the man was just like, really, blah, blah, blah. And I showed him this was the letter I had, but, I don't have the funding. So I was like, well, I think we've been trying to diversify the department. We don't have a lot of black people helping us. I'm like, my God, the bless in my heart. Yeah, I was like, can you help us grade, help us do? I'm like, I was born to grade.
You don't understand.
I was born to grade anyway. So that's why I was like, okay, we'll give you a position, where it's just more like grading, But of course, that will cover you can use that to get accommodation. That is just like they're paying you a stipend, but it just will not pay your tuition. But then the man later came back and was like, maybe we should check with this professor. Maybe this person really wants you to work. Maybe you should not grade. He would talk to her if she's really willing that they give that position while I just keep working with her, that they are fine. So by the following day, he has sent her the email. And they said, yeah, that's fine. That she really wants me to work with her. She just wants to be sure that, So, okay. That was how we got that around September. I got in there August. This was already September. If I remember the date, they gave me the letter September 19th. Which happened to be my brother's birthday. I told him I can never forget because it was on your birthday. That was when the letter came. Okay, you work with us, work with the woman. But then $10,000 tuition is there. That has to be paid. That has to be paid. So what I kind of did was just, okay, all of this stipend you're giving, put it into this into this tuition, right? Just use that to pay for the tuition. By the end of the semester, maybe I'd pay like $2,000 or $3,000 out of like 10,000.
Huh? They don't send you come on school.
No. Why? Why would they do
He
that?
said that they don't say
So-
it.
What will happen is if you don't finish paying at the end of that semester, you cannot register for the following
Next
semester.
semester.
You can be there, you can
Okay,
pay all
okay.
through the end of the semester, right?
Mhm.
They will just charge you a late fee of $100, which you're like,
No
what's
good.
$100?
No
in
good
10,000,
try,
you know.
But
So
okay.
yeah, that was how that semester went, right?
Okay.
And then paid using the stipend they gave, paid all of those. Got so good, the semester went really well, right? In terms of grading, research, grades like the GP and all those. And then she said, "Okay, now I'm going to fund you in the second
Like how people
semester."
say.
So now, again, you cannot register second semester until you have paid the first one. So even though she wants to
Problem.
fund the second semester,
How you
You
go?
see,
you have to pay.
Hey God.
So now there was now a bit of running skelter. I'm like, okay, how are we gonna do this? But then we have a center for international students. So the director, I had somebody, the person I was staying with knows them. We're like, okay, let's go talk to this person. We're like, okay, there's something we can do. Went to the boss's office.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, we've not done this for anybody in a long time. But we're gonna do something for you. Since you have funding for the next semester, you're just gonna sign like a contract that the money you're getting from that will be going directly to the tuition of the previous semester. I'm like, it sounds perfect with me. Where's the paper? Let me sign, So I signed that, and that took care of the second semester's tuition. Then the payment, the bi-weekly payment from
The grading.
the fund. No, not grading now. So I'm not working with
She's
that.
working for
Okay.
Yeah.
So you stopped working for the head of department.
Oh no, so the head of department said I would be grading for them. But then he said he took a pause. I said, let me talk to this woman. If she really wants you to work with her, go work with her.
Okay.
Why we
we'll
just
keep
keep
paying
paying,
this stipend.
which is what they did. So by the end of that second semester, the research was going on. Tuition for that semester is cleared. And then the money, the payment from that, they're supposed to be my stipend. We call it stipend, salary, every 2 weeks. Use that to pay the first semester. Of course, it was still not enough, right? Because it's like $10,000 is a lot.
You spent to...
I think it was at the end of that semester, the second semester, and I think I had about $2,000 left or something like that. But the good thing is, she started like, I don't think that you can impress me, blah, blah. After 1 year of masters, we already had a research paper to be published. She was like, in the first year, research paper. I'm like, well, I don't know. That just came up. Okay, let me post it. The story continues, but let me post it.
That's
To
interesting.
reflect.
Yeah, so
This is a seasonal movie.
I wanted all the money from the stipend was going to the tuition fee.
Most of it.
So how your living expense?
That's why I said most of it.
Okay.
Yeah, most of it was going into that. So just kind of left. I was staying with somebody. The person
So it
like
made
just
it easier,
person like
okay.
just stay with us so that you don't have to bother about accommodation and feeding.
So you weren't paying rent.
Oh no. It
And
was a
that's
family.
nice.
As
It was a
in-
family, Nigerian family. Like
Great.
just stay with
you
us.
get-
Yeah.
That must have eased a lot of. Because
Oh, yeah, of course,
I can't
because-
imagine having to deal with now.
It will be undoable.
That's interesting. I'm just trying to picture myself if it was me. At
Mm-hmm.
what point?
Would you have come back?
Of course, at that point, my mom was like,
Sure you don't go
no,
back.
she was not. She was even like, should she go and sell her house and get the money? I said, I looked at her, I said, no. As long as God lives, I will not call any living being to collect even $1 from the person. So I call anybody to, can you get $1 from you?
Yeah, because it's
My
also
family members were never, they were like, it was later I was telling them the story, they're like, you never, no.
Yeah, and it's interesting because if you in any way believe in God or in a more supreme being, the way at which you had already even got into where you were, it was clear that there was something. You had not cut corners to get there, and that's usually the interesting part. Okay, so what happened with PhD? Did you now get funding fully?
Yeah,
You got
so
funding fully?
thankfully. So after doing the second semester, let me just summarize this. After getting the funding second semester, she ran out of money. Then she was not like, okay. Now the story was about to start again. I'm like, no, we're not doing this. But thankfully, somewhere else, I got a 4 years funding. How I got that one is a different story. But then I got the 4 years
We'll do
funding.
another episode for it.
So I got the 4 years funding that now lasted me for the second year of the masters, then my 3 years of PhD.
That's interesting. All right. So, how many papers have you published since you got into the US?
About 16, I think.
Wait, we haven't even asked what field.
Electrical and computer engineering.
You have music business, you are slow. We are talking about how many papers that somebody has published. You are talking about whether somebody study what course. Sorry, sir. Not 6. So.
No.
16.
Not 6 that will say, okay, 2017 till now, 1 per year.
Oh, no, I didn't do 1 per
16.
year. Yeah, about 16.
Anyway, guys,
In how
meet
many
my commissioner for science
About
and
3
tech.
years.
16 papers in 3
In
years.
6. In 3. Hey.
3.5 years, but yeah.
Anyway, Prof. Edno, again, like I said, real doctor.
Sorry, I need to ask.
I just dey play.
I have to question.
I just dey.
Mentorship, then, do you plan to come back anytime soon?
What do you mean by come back? Because
Like
I'm here.
relocate.
I'm
You
here.
relocate back to Nigeria? And like,
So I'm still thinking about it. I'm thinking of doing like an adjunct.
Like,
Like a visiting, yeah.
go to
Yeah.
Covenant, don't go to any other
But I mean,
school.
you may not want to say,
I mean,
but
I'm
I know you're
going-
working for one of the biggest companies in the US. So are you looking to leave like paid employment to like more academic in your
that's
future?
it.
So
or
there's
can
a
you
point
do
you
both?
get in your career that you can do both. That you can do like an adjunct.
Yeah,
somewhere.
behaving like you're not even far from the career.
I even
from
thought,
that because-
I told you like you were going to
At
after
this point,
PhD academia.
at this point, I
Sure.
don't.
No.
It's
So,
not everybody that is
You
doing
don't know
that.
what doctorate money is.
Mm.
Somebody says she wants to be called Dr. Babe. You don't know what she's targeting.
You know what I'm saying now? Like I thought, never mind.
So you thought I was going to be like professorship?
Exactly.
Of course, I had the option. I had offers from one of the best universities in North Carolina, but then the industry, you could also do similar research and all those things. So
Yes.
the way the industry works there is not just about going to the office. You can also still do research.
Yes.
You can
Yeah.
still do work actively what you did in your PhD, and of course the industry academia. There's one that that pays more.
So how are you able to focus on all these research papers? Or do you just, with all these areas, you just allow other people to go on? How many are you currently focused on right now?
So of course I'm done with my PhD. I shouldn't be working on papers, right?
Okay.
But I'm still working on 2.
So it's 17 and 18 is in the works.
For the fun of it.
So not for the fun of it. I think
I mean, you see that I not say
So-
anything.
so
so
I'm
the
at a loss
16,
for words.
the 16, a lot of it came from collaborations.
Of course, yes.
Because you cannot
You cannot write
by
all of
yourself
it.
write 16 publications in 3 years. So it's more of there's this collaboration. As first author, I think I have about 7 or 8 as first
Well, of course,
authors.
there's a lot of collaboration.
But second author, third author, you can't
Yeah.
collaborate. You're actively involved in the research, but then there has to be collaborations.
All right. So, I mean, how did you adapt? And it's great that you talked of a Nigerian family that took you in. There's a lot of that stories of people who go abroad, people of like minds, or even a few who they don't know, who either in the church or how did you get to meet people, and how was adaptation for you going into a city?
Yeah. So for me, the friend that
Yeah.
I talked about was the same person that kind of like, there's this family, and they were the ones that
Wow.
I'd been talking with them before I came into the
Okay,
US.
okay,
So they were the one that even gave me like a bank statement. I was like,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So they really helped in settling down, and then I found a nice Nigerian community.
Yeah.
In the
Is
the
it
city.
me, or it just seems like we really have a stronger community abroad? Or is it
There's
just
no
the
way you go
stories
there,
that
there are
I
no
know? Because-
Nigerians. Everywhere
Yeah, but
you
I'm
go,
just
there are
saying
Nigerians.
The communal, like,
They
a lot
seem
of my
nicer
students or
abroad.
my friends abroad, when they do the meet, I mean, I see you guys now. You guys meet up and everybody just seems so.
Hey,
Or is it the
guys,
ones that come from our kind of story, not the ones that just come from wealth? I don't know.
It's
What
a mix
would you
of it's
say?
a mix
Yeah.
of everything. Right?
Okay.
There are people who are very coercive. There are people who are like they don't want to do any Nigerian things.
Yes.
There are people who are like they don't even want to go to an African church.
I was even going to say that. Let me
Yeah.
rephrase, because I also know that you guys have Zimbabwean friends, so like it's not just Nigerians.
Yeah. So
There seems
it's a
to be
mix
like
of
an
everything.
African.
Yes. So in my
bonding.
school, we had an African graduate student organization
Okay.
that kind of brings us together. We
okay.
have like a welcome party.
Yeah.
We have like a welcome party and all of those things.
Yeah.
I feel like you were really it was the right time for you to go, because from your appointment at the embassy to there might have been
Some hitches.
yes, but it just felt like it was. But there's something, some people, they are not supposed to be in another country at that part, but they are coconut head.
carry
Will
it.
not allow- The land is telling them you are not welcome, but it just
I think this gives credence to when I say immigration is for everybody, but you need to really plan to japa. You don't just say you want to just immigrate. I commented
a lot
on the
of thought
trending.
has to go into it.
Fisayo was talking about what has made you leave Nigeria and things like that. There was a babe who talked about different things and that she's there and all that. And I was trying to say that, what works for this lady will not always work for everybody.
yeah.
A lot of people complained about how NSAS, the police matters, those things. Why is Sinom the laugh now?
No, it's because I just remember that I saw this with the moment he's the one that he dropped his colleague at the airport.
Yes.
They were going to Dubai. They got to Dubai before he
Before
got
you-
to.
I
I was
saw
like,
that
Jesus.
So those experiences,
God.
those experiences sort of they shape us.
Yeah.
I'm curious though. One of the things that I don't think I've asked our recent US guests is the matter of security, gun violence, racism. What have you experienced? And I want to also ask about teaching methods. I mean, you went as an academic. How different was
different is it?
FUTA
Yes.
to that? So those two questions.
Plus,
Security first though.
okay,
Yeah.
I think I also want him to answer the question. I don't know if you know any Nigerian PhD students. So if there's like a difference with their teaching method
So yes,
with
the ones in the US.
and
Nigeria, of course, there's a huge. The difference is wide.
Dr. Babe,
Yeah,
sure you not transfer.
The difference
It's
is
not
wide.
too
So
late.
let,
in case you not see me again.
let's just put it that
New
way.
dispensation.
The difference is wide. In terms of security, of course, anywhere you find yourself, there are pros and cons. If you're in Nigeria, there are issues that you have to face.
Yeah.
If you're in the
The
US, there are
cons in
issues that you
Nigeria
have
are
to face.
plentier than
That's what you think. That's why if you see people there, they always complain that their nation is horrible, their government is this. I'm like, have you
They
been
have
to
not gone
Nigeria?
Nigeria.
Yeah, that's
But I've seen the balance of both.
No, I think
Yeah,
it's
I
I
think
think
it's a balance,
it's yeah, I
right?
think it's
It's
a human thing.
perspective, yes.
In economics, it says that our wants are insatiable. So I think that's the basis for that.
I like that line. I like that. So so teaching methods. What did you see in what's
So,
really the difference
In
for
terms
you?
of for the US, for example, they are more inclusive, right? They don't just care about come in here, read the lecture note and get out. It's more of passing the knowledge, right? And then they even have office hours. So for example, if you don't understand, they have dedicated hours that you can go see the professors, right? It's more of getting the knowledge. How is it applied? And it's the curriculum is pretty much revised almost every year. In Nigeria, for example, in FUTA, one of the lecturers that taught me, he used the same note I had used like 10 years ago. He just brings the same thing and reads to us. If you had note of the previous session, you are good. You put, but it's not that way. And of course, in terms of research is way advanced. You do things that are current, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm curious though, because I think that you can also corroborate this story. It seems like there's always a strong tie between the academic and the private sector.
Oh yeah, yes.
Very
yes,
heavily
yes,
funded.
Yes,
because
heavily funded.
you left your university straight into a private.
Yeah.
What-
So
what-
most of the funding are from the private, institutions, from the government, from companies. In fact, they are heavily. Sometimes they have partnerships to where even a bank might even go to universities, have programs such that when you're done, come into the, to start working for them, internships and all of those things. So there's this huge collaboration.
Yeah. So on the final note, like, what will you say to Nigerians or people who are looking to come to the US, particularly? No, and again, not those jackpot like to run away, but like, what will you say to people, particularly people who are looking for funding today? What 1-2 things will you say to them about looking at funding?
Yeah, so I think number one, I would say, of course, it shouldn't be a means to jackpot, because I think it should be a means to, if you really want to go school, let it be that, for example, if the Nigerians that work there did not leave a good impression, it wouldn't have opened the way for me.
Yeah.
For me, that's one of the things I carried. Because today, if you go to my department and ask about Ayobami, I wouldn't say more than that, right? By the time I was leaving the school, I was inducted into the Hall of Fame for the university. So if we go to the school,
this is the perfect way to end it.
So I'm just gonna say that it gives a good impression. So you cannot go there and they will be able to point to a few Nigerians and say no. So people that are inducted, they put their names on the wall.
Wow.
You can go there and you see a few Nigerians on the wall, right? Yes. So number one, I think you should do it with a good intention, and then number two, doing it the right way, right? It might be tough, but just doing things the right way. And of course, you that are experienced, they can come to you and you can guide them.
Send us a DM. Thank you, Ayo, for today. I mean, it's been very insightful.
And I've collected plenty jobs, but thank God.
For particularly for those who are interested in PhD, I mean, Ayo is on LinkedIn if you are looking for help or mentorship. So our brother here who wants
people
to
going to
diversify
study music
business people. Why not
I already
there
have
for
a
that?
mentor. I'm even
Thank you, brothers.
It's okay. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sinom, for being on the pod again today. And thank you to our humble hosts.
That
Arrow
was
House
not
Studio.
necessarily needed there or wanted there, but he managed to put himself.
Till the next episode, guys. See you guys.
This is
Bye.
supposed to
Peace out.